on what it is and where we are going, and keep that in our mind, review that each and every day so that we can become unwavering. And anytime disappointment comes in, we remind ourselves it's always going to be this or something better. And you know what? I know that it is coming, and I believe in it, and I believe in myself. I am good enough. I am valuable. I am lovable. And I'm going to keep going because this assignment has been placed uniquely for me in this world, and the world needs me and what I have to offer. Welcome back to the Permission Slip podcast. Wow. I got so many messages about the episode last week, episode 166, around throwing in the towel, that I wanted to do a follow-up episode because when I recorded that initial episode, I was really in it with you. I thought it was going to be so valuable because I was sharing exactly what I was doing to move myself from an energy of discouragement back to an energy of contentment and gratitude and cultivating a sense of aliveness again. And so after that, I took time, just like I shared with you. I did the tips. So if you haven't listened, the quick tips that I gave, and I want you to bookmark this and then go back to 166 if you haven't listened to that, was to take a break, to get outside if possible, to move your energy, because oftentimes we are overthinking or overanalyzing or over worrying and getting ourselves into a state of discouragement because our energy isn't aligned with a higher vibration. Our energy isn't aligned with spirit, with source. And so we need to get our energy moving. It's meant to move every single cell in our body. The second thing is seeking a trusted advisor. So sharing out loud what you're going through just starts to take your power back. And then even if they're just listening, or maybe they can challenge you, maybe they can call you out, maybe they can remind you of your vision and how freaking amazing you are and how you are chosen to be the one to show the world how great life is, but seek that trusted advisor. The next thing was reflect and celebrate on the wins that you have around whatever it is that you're feeling discouraged about. The next thing is help someone else. Could you send a really nice email, a text, a phone call? Could you go out on your walk and give somebody a nice compliment, give them a helping hand, open a door for them? Whatever that might be, help someone else. Again, this is going to bring your energy from that energy of disappointment and despair, and it's going to move it back into that sense of aliveness that we all strive for and want each and every day. And the last thing was to track and journal on your experience. And that's where I ended. And so I wanted to pick up there because I have my journal out in front of me, and I wrote down so many notes, so many things that I was thinking about and moving through and going through, and a few talking points that I could share with you. Again, my hope really for this podcast is anytime that you're feeling that sense of discouragement, that you can just come back to this podcast and you can listen again, and you don't have to feel that anymore. That by following these steps, you can let go of all fear and all disbelief and hesitation and worry and doubt so that you can fully step into the alignment of your biggest dreams and goals. Now, as a reminder, make sure to download the leader guide last week and this week. There will be a guide for you. I also included the emotional guidance scale, which we talked about last week, because it's really hard to go from, despair and disappointment all the way up to the top to overjoyed, but you can move up a little bit and you can get yourself back into a higher vibration. Okay, so let me just dive into some of my notes. The first thing that I did, I'm such a wordsmither. I really wanted to define for us what is discouragement. And then after that, I have one key point. I could probably stop the whole podcast at that key point because we're going to sit with that key point for just a moment, because that is what the one thing I want you to come back to. If you get a ping of discouragement, if you get a ping of worry, if you get a ping of overthinking that something is not going to work out, then this is what I want you to think about to help you get back. So discouragement. When I looked that up, it said that which destroys courage. That which depresses hope. That which deters from an undertaking, destroys destroys courage, depresses hope, and deters us from an undertaking. I think that that is such a good depiction of what discouragement is. Another definition was depressing confidence. But as I was journaling on this, the thing that came up time and time again was not about my confidence, because I am a very confident person. Confidence is external. Confidence is what people see on the outside. Confidence is knowing when I walk into a room that I can hold my head up high and that I have something unique to share. And I can be confident in my words. Now, what I think it's really depressing is our belief in ourself, our self-worth. You see, our self-belief and self-worth is internal. When we have high self-belief and high self-worth, we are believing that we are enough. Somewhere inside of us, all of us, I want to say every single person has thought at some point or another that I'm not good enough in some situation. Maybe that was work, maybe relationships, family, maybe that was to start a business. Maybe that was to take care of ourselves, take care of others, whatever it is, we've thought that before. But if we have high self-belief, which means we believe in ourselves, we have high self-worth, we know and trust that regardless of how we are measuring our own abilities, regardless of what's happening around us, we know that we are enough. We know that we are lovable, and we know that we are valuable, separate from our achievements. And that's really the thing that's hitting home for us when we're getting discouraged, is we're allowing some sort of external measurement. And usually, if you're anything like me, it's my own external measurement towards myself, towards an outcome that I was believing for, that I was going towards, that didn't arrive. And then you know what we do? We take that information and we make it mean something about ourselves, which diminishes or depresses our self-belief. It depresses our self-worth. So then it stops us from being courageous. It stops us from hoping and believing, and it deters us from taking action. But what if we could take that harsh measurement? Because here's the thing about that measurement is usually the measurement is even way too small from what God is really calling us to do, from the assignment that he has currently on our life. Because we all have a big calling, we all have a unique gift. And then every day, week, quarter, year, season, whatever we want to look at it, we get different assignments. That's why we're always learning and growing and going through challenges and sharpening our edges and leaning in, because we need new growth in order to get to the next assignment. And so what if we stopped measuring ourselves against the past and started believing that big dream and big future and big vision that we had going forward, and then started focusing on the steps to get there? And then when something arrives that was unanticipated, maybe not planned for, the outcome that we anticipated, we could step back, zoom out, and just have it be information. Tell ourselves, great, this is just information. It means nothing about my worthiness, my value, or my lovability, or my ability to complete this task or reach this goal. It's just information for me to reflect, discern, adjust, and try again. Maybe I need to ask for help. So here's the key thing that I want you to think about. But before that, just a reminder of Hebrews 11:1, which says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen." Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So if we can have faith, faith is always going to believing and having faith and having commitment, no matter the external outcomes, that's always going to precede our resources. We're not always going to know the end result or how it's going to turn out, but just know this, it's always going to be this or something better. So in those moments where you're feeling discouraged, tell yourself, zoom out, look at the information. What do you need to reflect on? What do you need to learn? Where do you need to ask for help? Where do you need to grow? And then where do you need to assess? And then start taking action again, knowing that you are unwavering. Say that with me right now. Put your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Hold it. Deep breath out. Now say it with me. I am unwavering. I am unwavering. Because when you get that on your heart, when you get that assignment and you can be unwavering, and in those moments when your ego tries to knock you out, when it tries to come in, when it tries to remind you, remember something like this happened before, we can say, nope, I'm zooming out. This is all just information. Let me look at it. What's here for me? How do I need to adjust? Where do I need to move? Maybe I need to seek a trusted advisor. Because if we stop looking for praise and start seeking trusted feedback instead, so the next time you're looking for praise, you're looking for an attaboy, you're looking for a certain result and you don't get it, seek trusted feedback instead. It's so much more valuable. Because here's the thing in today's world is you're making an impact. Just often people are too busy to tell you, to say, but what you're doing it matters. How you're showing up matters. Keep going. And stop worrying about others and focus on your daily habits and your daily rituals. So get out a pen right now. I want you to write down the 3 things that if you do these things each and every day, you feel a sense of aliveness every time. What are those things? For me, that's walking outside. I am in my bliss bubble. I am in South Beach, in Miami Beach, walking outside, getting in nature always aligns me. Always. Something Joel and I do at the end of the day that just brings me so much joy is we talk about our wins for the day. We share that. We celebrate with each other. We have reflection. We celebrate how far we've grown. We give praise to each other. We talk about it. We ask questions. We share our challenges. Maybe there was a challenge and we just need to start taking our power back. And then we reflect on the next day. We pray together and we get excited for what's to come because it's always going to be this or something better. Always this or something better. So, what are your things that you need to do each and every day so that you stay in this energy? Because it's all about a choice. And we definitely need to stop referring to the past as our guidepost or our control for the future, because that is way too small. And God is doing something even bigger and better and bolder, but you have to be open and you have to allow it. You have to stop letting the setbacks, which most of the time come back to a couple of things. One being our expectations were not met. And so then we make it mean something about our worthiness. Untrue, by the way. Again, I am unwavering. That's your new mantra. That's my new mantra. We'll share it together. How about that? And then the second thing is you get discouraged because you don't feel understood. A lot of our conflicts in life are because we're fighting so hard to be seen and heard and understood. And what if we stopped focusing so much on others, but just started sharing authentically and vulnerably and showing up in the energy that felt good to us? So these are most of my notes, except here's the key takeaway. And I saved this to the end. This is the best part. This is the no BS Carmen, like coach coming out that I want to tell you, and I want to share this with you. So anytime you feel despair and discouraged, because I do really, really deep down in my heart feel like this energy of discouragement is infectious. And it's infecting so many people in society today. And there's a variety of reasons that it's affecting us. We've talked about them, a few of them on the podcast today. But it's what keeps us playing small. It's what keeps us living a mediocre life. It's what keeps us from going after our dreams or goals. It's what is keeping us from our next level of freedom and success. And so here is the key takeaway. So if the next time you feel discouraged, ask yourself this: if I knew everything was going to work out, would I keep going? If I knew everything was going to work out, would I keep going? If I knew that each one of my goals were going to click in place, even though I can't see it yet, would I do it anyways? If I knew I was going to be successful, would I keep going? If I knew for sure that this problem that I'm having wasn't going to continue for much longer, if I knew it was going to happen, if I knew I was going to achieve the goal, would I show up and do the things that I have committed to do? You know what your answer is. It's the same as mine. Yes. If we knew, so what if we go back to our vision? What if we get so freaking clear on what it is and where we are going and keep that in our mind, review that each and every day so that we can become unwavering. And anytime disappointment comes in, we remind ourselves it's always going to be this or something better. And you know what? I know that it is coming and I believe in it and I believe in myself. I am good enough. I am valuable. I am lovable. And I'm going to keep going because this assignment has been placed uniquely for me in this world, and the world needs me and what I have to offer. And so that's it for the podcast today. I'm so grateful for you listening. Be sure to download this week's leader's guide. You can do that by clicking in the show notes. We have a leader guide every single week. So make sure to download those PDFs, save them, go back, use them. Because again, I want you to be able to use this as a tool. Anytime you feel discouraged, come back, listen to this, let go of all fear, all disbelief, and step back into your full belief, your full faith, your self-worth, and knowing that it's always going to be this or something better. You're meant for this. And you are unwavering. Thanks for listening.